Alejandro. Big Fish Guts is now following me. Oh, no. It's following Mojo. Every now and then
Big fish guts.
Big Fish Guts. Well, of course. Oh, yeah. Okay, that was yesterday. Where's today's? There it is. Here I am. Robert. The NASDAQ is ahead 120. All right. Where are we going here, people? The answer is to hell if we don't change our ways. Right? Hold on a second. That's better. And Brenda, Jamie, Patrick. Do you? Do you? And it's highly likely I'm not wearing pants. My old Twitter feed's a little quiet this morning. Sorry, did we wake you up?
No, I'm just adjusting my chair.
Damn it. I can't make it right. How? Yeah.
Please, sir.
Pizza.
Dumpster fire.
All right, people. Let's act like we give a damn for 5 minutes.
Urine has given her relief from a number of long-term side effects and issues, such as autoimmune disorder, Hashimoto's thyroid disease, and chronic pain conditions from fibromyalgia.
You know what else it's kept her from having?
What?
Friends.
Yeah.
Probably a love
Good
life.
breath. She tells the press that she started drinking her own pee when some people call urine therapy.
Wow.
No, you need therapy.
Wow.
Mojo 50. The question isn't who's going to let us. The question is who's going to stop us. Adjust your mojo now. Thank you. The mothership has landed. Brad Staggs. Almighty Mojo 50.
Will you look at all of this feedback?
What feedback? Where are you getting feedback from?
We struck something of a nerve yesterday, I think, on a couple of our discussions. And
I feel like we probably did, yes.
Yes, it's interesting things like that make people perk up and listen. It is your Daily Mojo. Today is, what is today? Is today Wednesday already?
Wednesday the 17th,
we're
yes.
more than halfway through November. It'll be Christmas before you know it.
Earworm. It's earworm. Earworm.
It is Earworm Wednesday. Yes, indeed it is. And we'll get to that in a second. We've got all of this stuff. And I think topping the list, I hate to have to thank Squatching Duck, but I do, for bringing this to my attention. So every now and then, Blind Squirrel finds an acorn. The latest in the fear porn category here is in Maryland. And I feel like we need something, maybe a little, I don't know, something, I don't know, maybe that'll work. A Maryland resident returning from Nigeria has tested positive for monkeypox.
Oh, good Lord.
This according to state officials yesterday. In a news release, the Maryland Department of Health said the state and federal health officials confirmed the unnamed man tested positive for a monkeypox viral infection, which does not sound like much fun. It's in the same family as smallpox, but generally causes milder infections. And of course, a strange and almost overcoming desire for
Here it comes.
for bananas. Sorry, that's not funny. I mean, if you've ever had chicken pox, I mean, you do have that overpowering urge to peck at them. But do you remember chicken pox? Did you?
Unfortunately.
Do you
Yeah,
remember
I had
having them as a? Did you have them as a
very
kid?
young, Yeah.
I had them when I
do
was
remember.
18,
Really?
and they sucked. Because I mean, you really want to scratch your arm off. That's why I had to wear socks on my arms, and it was or on my hands. It was horrible. So monkeypox, it's kind of the same thing. I guess it comes from monkeys. I would assume that because it's monkeypox and not chickenpox, right? I mean, I'm no doctor, but having played a dentist, I feel I have some degree of expertise in the field. So once you are, over the whole COVID-19 fear thing, watch out for the monkeys.
Here we come, walking down the street.
Right?
Get the funniest looks from everyone we meet. Hey, we're the monkeys, and people say we're monkeying around, but we're too busy singing to put anybody down.
For those of you unfamiliar, The Monkees was a TV show.
Do what we like to do.
They were created to take on the Beatles.
There's always something.
They were a poor man's Beatles, if you will.
Hey, we're the monkeys.
But weren't they created wasn't the show created before the band actually became big?
Yes.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Put anybody down.
The Daily Mojo.
And over on the Twitterverse, if you want to join us there, it is indeed Earworm Wednesday. Great suggestions for Earworm Wednesday. And when I do say great, I mean there were some good ones, a lot of crappy ones. Who was it that suggested it was a funky type song? Gosh, what was that?
Play
Great.
that funky music.
Yeah, it was different. It was something like that, but it was a little too funky. Too funky for me. I know it was Stinky Biscuit that just also responded to one of the tweets earlier today regarding the Carol Burnett show. I did go down a bit of a rabbit hole on YouTube this morning, and yes, Stinky Biscuit with regard to the Carol Burnett show with Mr. Spock on it. Variety shows which were popular at the time, he quoted out of the tweet, in other words, cheap for the studio to crank out. Actually, no. They were expensive. The Carol Burnett show and shows like that were expensive because they had a full live orchestra.
A full live orchestra, full stage.
Yeah.
I mean,
They were you couldn't do them today.
they were building sets.
It was and the funniest thing, if you read Carol Burnett's book, is they would do the show live to the audience. They would
It
tape
was
it
like
twice.
a Broadway play every night.
Yeah, and they would record basically the dress rehearsal, and that was often what made it on to that's where Tim got. Well, they would stick to all of the
Don't they
script.
do that with SNL too?
Probably.
Yeah, they record the dress rehearsal and
then so once they've
that
got
way
a secure
sometimes they
take.
play it. I've heard of them playing it on the East Coast, one of them, and then going, okay, that didn't work. Let's
Right.
play this,
Yeah.
on the West Coast.
Yeah, and so in the second time that they would tape it for Carol Burnett, that's when Tim Conway would just
Lose it.
yep.
God,
And
that was brilliant.
he was good at that.
Brilliant comedy, dude.
All right, so at the other end of the spectrum, this comes to us from Ruth. I'm not on Twitter or Facebook, don't normally care to comment on much regarding the conversation on maps. That would be minor attracted persons?
Yes.
Okay, so the S is just the plural. Tell Brad it's not about what you feel, it's about what you do. All behaviors outside heterosexuality are emotional issues in the Bible. People became eunuchs instead of acting on behaviors. Focusing on feelings is how they make everything okay. Anyway, have a good day.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying. It would be horrible to get up every day and realize I'm attracted to small children. I can't even imagine.
Do you have the note about ODU suspending that professor?
I don't, but that doesn't surprise me.
Yep, they suspended him, her, whatever, yesterday.
See, the name is Allen, Allyn. So why make it difficult?
I know.
Why make it
They
difficult?
placed Dr. Alan Walker on administrative leave effective immediately from their position, because they're from their position as assistant professor of sociology and criminal justice. Reactions to Dr. Walker's research and book have led to concerns for their safety of the campus.
Well, and again, I understand what they were saying. They were saying they're non-offend. I'm not defending them. I'm just saying they were saying they were non-offending.
What do you
Is a
call it?
pet? Well, is a pedophile? Just because you are a pedophile doesn't mean you've committed pedophilia. Correct? Is that right?
I don't.
I mean, you're not. You've not.
I don't know how to answer that. Therefore, I will not.
Well, if you're an
I think
audiophile,
so.
let's say if you're an audiophile, you're attracted to audio.
You haven't committed autophilia.
Correct. So I'm just going to
No,
go with that.
you-
And I'm not. It's getting sticky in here, like this rat sticky traps I put down. I'm going to step in one of them soon.
Yep.
I'm not defending any of it, but words matter, and when you start, because we're all the time pointing at others, saying it's the war on words and the way and what you say that makes a difference. So, being a pedophile doesn't mean you have committed pedophilia. And we got another note from Nick, who has written in the past. Hey guys, I've emailed about this subject before. I'm probably your only hebophile listener. I am one of those non-offending blah, blah, blahs. It's difficult to deal with being attracted to young teen girls. The mental shame and depression that comes with it can be unbearable. You can't share your difficulties you're dealing with because of the social views. Either Doc or Brad once read my email on the air, and all the comments were to wish for my death. Only time I had any communication with Doc was as follows, and here is what Doc wrote to him. Brad and I have spent a lot of time off-air discussing these issues. Unfortunately, it's a difficult concept for many to get. Thank you for trusting us and sharing your story. I'm sure it wasn't easy. Please let us know if we can ever be of help, Doc. And Nick says he's open and willing to answer any questions. It's strange, Nick, that not strange that you wrote the letter, but I was thinking about you yesterday while we were discussing this. And then Beth's 2 cents here. Brave of Nick to write to us and be willing to answer questions. While I agree with Dan's perspective that God can heal and change people's desires if they are willing to turn them over, I'm also quite disappointed in an audience that would wish him dead. Regardless of whether or not he wants to change his desires, he's a human being and a child of God who is not acting on the desires. As Dan said today, we are all sinners. Any human who wishes him dead would be committing the sin of murder in their heart, just as he is committing lustful desires in his. Good point. For anybody who feels that way, I urge them to look inside themselves, focus on their own sin before throwing stones at others. No one should just be given a pass for not trying to change the wrongs of their life, but we all have wrongs in our lives. We would be wise to fix our own before judging others. Yep. Unrelated to said topic, this is from Kay, and this is a great point. With the last 20 months of masks, face diaper wearing, a question came to mind. I see a lot of people driving, walking, running by themselves wearing a mask. I wonder how many people who've died and were prepped by the undertaker or mortuary were buried wearing a mask. Question isn't how many, but the question is of how many, not if, because that's happened.
That's happened. Absolutely.
Someone somewhere has been buried wearing a face diaper because 2021 and what the hell? Hold on. That was close. I guess there will be a funeral director organization somewhere that has the numbers. And yeah, I agree. It's again, not if, but how many, which reminded me of this from, I think it was July of 2020. I got it right that time. Remember this, Jewel? Terrifying.
It's just a mask, you guys. Don't be a jerk. It's for the greater good. It's just a vaccine, you guys. Don't be a jerk. It's for the greater good.
That's that creepy ass clown.
In 4 months, the U.S. was transformed into an obedient socialist country. Government dictated what events are acceptable to attend. Violent protests that instill fear are okay. But church services, family funerals, and patriotic celebrations are dangerous. And you bought it without a fight. Standing in a graduation line is a safety hazard. Small businesses were forced to close, but crowds to support the corporate money machine at Walmart, Lowe's, and Home Depot are okay. Come on, it's just a mask and safety precautions. How about a little hush money? Here's $2,400 that we stole out of your paycheck in the first place.
Wow.
Enjoy. Buy something with it from a big corporation. Cash is dirty. We can't give change. There's a coin shortage. Use your card. In 4 months, they convince you to use a traceable card for everything. In less than 4 months, government closed public schools, then restructured education under the guise of public safety. In less than 4 months, our government demonstrated how easily people assimilate to guidelines that have no scientific premise whatsoever when you are fearful. In less than 4 months, our government successfully instilled fear in a majority of the population in America that allows them to control every aspect of your life, including what you eat, where you go, who you see, and your toilet paper.
God, he's right.
And the most dangerous and terrifying part, people are not afraid of the government who removed their freedom. They're afraid of their neighbors, family, and friends. And they hate those that won't comply. It's absolutely terrifying to me that so many people don't question authority. They are willing to surrender their critical thinking skills and independence. They just gave up without thinking, without a fight. Do you know what's coming next? It's just a vaccine. Come on, it's for the greater good. Wait until you're told that you can't enter any store or business without proof of the COVID-19 vaccine. Wait until you can't go to public events or get on a plane without proof of receiving the vaccine. Don't think it's possible? Well, you already allowed the government to say when you can go outside, where you're allowed to go, and accepted a new unproven digital education for your kids in the last 100 days. You followed blindly because you were told to do so. You're kidding yourself. The mass behavior won't be repeated with a vaccine or whatever the next step is. I don't follow politics. I don't care about that stuff. I don't think about it. 6 million Jewish people were exterminated in Germany because 97% of the population cowered to populist control. Nobody wanted to think about it. It's easier just to ignore it. But that couldn't happen here in America, right? They got you. Without a thought, without a fight. Just like France, just like Russia, just like China. Welcome, comrade.
Okay, how freaky is that? Because that was in 2020.
Yep.
Wow. Because the vaccine bit, I mean, it hadn't even been, at that point, they were testing and might be a vaccine by the end of the year, but the clown was right. That's the most terrifying part. The clown was right. So remember when we tell you that things are likely going to get a bit crazier. And the supply chain disruptions that we've already seen. I mean, I know that Mayor Pete is in charge and things are, he's got it under control. And remember, he said that, the best way to untangle the supply chain disruptions was to get vaccinated. Remember him saying that?
I do.
It's just like, wait, what? So if you think that by the pricking of your thumb, something wicked this way comes, I would suggest you head over to prepareWithMojo50.com and get your emergency food supply. It's the products are from, of course, My Patriot Supply. We love them. They love us. It's a mutual love affair. And you can get it's a mutual love affair, when I say. $100 off the 3-month kit right now. And it's true. Some other companies out there putting out survival food have actually run out, ironically, of raw materials to put together said kits, but not My Patriot Supply. So just remember them. I'm not going to hammer it down your throat. I'll get it. You're welcome. Just remember, preparewithmojo50.com when you realize that things ain't going as they should be going. Because I think it's going to get worse before it gets better.
Probably.
That's my gut feeling. And I have a pretty healthy gut, so I trust it most of the time. This was on Twitter, I think it was. So it's what caught my eye from the Toronto Star. And filed this under as panic porn as well. The headline, "The battle against airborne COVID has shifted. Why your mask is the last layer of defense." Scared yet? Whether it's the moviegoer who ditches their mask at the start of the show to eat popcorn, never puts it on again, or the commuter on the subway who sports theirs just below the nose. Guilty. Mask use in Ontario seems to be slipping, literally. But with COVID-19 cases ticking up again with the cold weather, a reopened economy, and vaccination rates plateauing, Canada's chief public health officer is urging people to double down on masking as a tool to help stop airborne transmission. And then it says this article is exclusive to subscribers. Unlock now. Get access for 99 cents a week. And I ain't going to do that.
No.
But this is what they're trying to do. Now they're using this as bait. It's clickbait to try to get you to subscribe to their little newspaper.
Yep.
And you're seeing that more and more. They're trying to scare you into reading their stuff. Because there are a lot of people who, and this may be that light at the end of the tunnel that is not a train. This may be that light that a lot of people are waking up, because mainstream media is. I think that their dog and pony show might be wearing a little thin. Unfortunately, there are still some people out there who will bite it hook, line, and sinker. But you've hit close to a nerve when this is the headline on. This was a trending Twitter topic yesterday, and a statement that has been debunked by Reuters Facts. Reuters, another one of those great woke news services, along with AP, which actually used to be a news service. So here is the fact check that they are fact checking. A statement by Bill Gates about vaccines and COVID-19 transmission has been taken out of context, fact checkers report. So, we got a little close to the nerve there. Microsoft co-founder and philanthropist Bill Gates told Britain's former health secretary Jeremy Hunt in a November 4th interview that although our current vaccines substantially reduce the possibility of contracting a serious case of COVID-19, researchers in the future could focus on improving the vaccine's ability to prevent transmission of the virus. They're saying that this excerpt from the interview with Hunt circulated on social media, in which the billionaire said that vaccines only slightly reduce the transmissions, lacks context. Does it? Is that not what Rachel Walensky over at the CDC said? That, yeah, it doesn't stop transmission. Did we not find out that people who were vaccinated had the same viral load, possibly even a larger viral load than those who are unvaccinated? Those were out there. That information is out there. Gates told Time magazine on November 9th that we got lucky that mRNA vaccines worked. And while current COVID-19 vaccines do not halt transmission of the virus, they are highly effective at preventing severe disease, according to Reuters. Are they? Are they? Maybe we've seen a lot of breakthrough cases. I think, right here. Michael V sent us this, and thank you. And kind of a blanket thank you. You know how bad I am at checking email. If it wasn't for the elves. If it wasn't for the elves around here that made sure that I got some of these notes, I would, I know, I'm pathetic. God made me that way. I can't. There's nothing I can do about it. I'm going to hide behind that. As of Friday, and I always think of Lady Hawk And what was the kid's Andrew? Not Andrew. He played the pickpocket. Married to Sarah Jessica Hardbody. Matthew
Broderick?
Yeah, thank you. Remember in Lady Hawk, he said, "Lord, if you let me out of here, I will never pick another pocket again." And then he gets out, and the first thing he does is pick a pocket. He says, "Lord, I know what I said, but I also know that you made me this way, so you knew I was going to do it." So as of Friday, November 12th, Utah has confirmed 34,423 breakthrough cases, meaning infections in people who had been fully vaccinated more than 2 weeks prior. The state also confirmed 1,551 breakthrough hospitalizations and 218 breakthrough deaths since the vaccines became available earlier this year. Now, I'm sure that you can twist this information around it. Well, that's only 0.2% of the totally vaccinated population. Everybody can twist the numbers into whatever they want to, but the bottom line is, I don't trust anything that comes out of the CDC. I don't trust anything that comes out of Fauci's mouth. And especially if you read any of the new Robert F. Kennedy Jr. book, The Real Anthony Fauci. And when you hear a couple of these, I just pulled a couple of things out of this. It's scary. This guy is Mengele.
He is.
Sorry, but if you really look below the surface, this guy is evil. He, let's see, how long ago was this? This was back in, I think it was the 80s. The National Institutes of Health once tested AIDS drugs on foster children, including infants. Anthony Fauci's National Institutes of Health once experimented on foster children with AIDS, testing experimental drugs on the children while almost always failing to provide an independent advocate to make sure that children remain safe and healthy. This happened throughout the late 1980s and 90s, and the practice was exposed in 2005. So the guy is, I don't know if that does that make him a sociopath, a psychopath, just plain crazy? I don't think the guy gives a crap about human life. To him, I think we're all test subjects. And that was Mengele's whole thing, is, human beings, a great opportunity to test. Probably thinks that, God sent him to Earth to discover the answers to these things, or Satan or whom else. But I don't trust these people at all. It's my point.
Happily promoting
Clear.
Fauci is a weasel.
Whistle.
He's a weasel. I need to get Brian Sack on the show. Have you ever seen one? All righty. See, it sucks you in, doesn't it? Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Jeremy Hunt, isn't that Mike's brother? I think it is.
Peter. Ethan.
BS also, Biden sucks. Both two statements can be confusing. True.
Oh, there she is.
Oop, there she is.
All right. I got it.
Hey, Sarah.
Hey, good morning.
You sound like you just woke up.
I'm kind of sick.
Oh, it sounds.
No, I'm just very, very sick.
All right.
So,
We've known
yeah,
we've known that for some time.
I'll try not to sniffle like that.
10 seconds. We're back in.
Hang on, we'll be right back.
On Mojo 50 or anytime on the Spreaker podcast app.
the The Daily Mojo.
See over on the Twitters, Let's Go Brandon just tweeted, seems to me that you can save money and aggravation by not clicking on the COVID panic porn news links. Yeah, but it's like the ones where you see this is how I don't know, Jennifer Lopez lost her career. And you're like, really? What'd she do? What happened? This is why no one in Hollywood will touch Arnold Schwarzenegger anymore. What did he do?
Yep.
And you have to, because
Clickbait.
you have to. I mean, and besides, I do it, so you don't have to. And over in the Facebook chat room here, Jerome says he's got to come up with a new bull shirt idea. So do we. Since BS could also be Biden sucks. Both true statements, but can be confusing, just saying. And Debbie Treadway says, I love Brian Sack. I do too. And he was actually responding to, what was the tweet I just put out there? I can't keep up. I'm so fast, I can't even keep up with myself, Ron. It's really kind of terrifying.
I am so fast.
I mean,
How
it's
fast
true.
are you?
I'm very, very, very fast.
You and me go fishing in the dark, lying on our backs and counting the stars where the cool grass grows.
Nitty Gritty Dirt Band, 77?
I cannot get this out of my mind now. Thank you very much.
You want to have something in your mind that you really can't get out? Go look up the meaning of fishing in the dark.
Staying the whole night through.
God dang it.
Feels so good to
This was a good song, too.
It was still a good song.
In the criminal justice system, the people are represented by two separate yet equally important groups. The police, who investigate crime, and the district attorneys, who prosecute the offenders. Wrong. The people are represented by Sarah Anderson, Program Manager, Criminal Justice and Civil Liberties, with R Street, dedicated to criminal justice reform and holding our public officials responsible. Sarah Anderson is on the Daily Mojo with Brad Staggs and Ron Phillips.
I'm telling you, have you heard the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band before, Sarah? Fishing in the Dark? You ever
Yes,
heard that?
I do know that song. It's definitely more up my alley.
I'd be careful how you say that until
righty
you
then.
go and look up the meaning of that term that I didn't know before. What was it,
I
yesterday?
didn't either until yesterday,
I
damn
know.
it, Brad.
And somebody pointed it out to me, and I'm like, no way. And I looked it up, and it's like, way. So anyway, Sarah, you're a bit under the weather.
Maybe I will.
I wouldn't.
Yes,
I wouldn't
I'm
recommend
sick.
it. But so, what do
It's
you?
awful.
You got the Rona? What do you got?
No, it's just like congestion, cold, on my nose, coughing, all of that. So definitely not COVID. But
Wait a minute. Aren't those
it ain't
symptoms of
fun.
COVID?
I think everything's a symptom of COVID at this point.
Thank you. Well, I'm sorry you're not feeling well. Well, you know what it is? It's all that clean mountain air that you're getting up in Colorado. It'll get to you every time.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, we got snow on the ground around here now, so probably just weather change got me. But
Well,
here we are
Well, the other
on
thing
the phone
is
with you guys.
there's probably a lot less humidity up there, and when that happens, almost every time I'd go up to the higher elevations out in Colorado, I would get a sinus infection because it was so dry, and it was miserable. So maybe that's what you're going through. In any event, I hope you get better.
Yeah.
I hope you get better soon. Hope you don't
Thanks.
die.
Me too.
So what have you been through your sickness? What have you been keeping your eye on lately at R Street?
Yeah, well, the really exciting news from this week is that I know we've often talked about decriminalization of drugs, legalization of certain substances, and kind of how that differs across states, causes problems, especially for marijuana policy.
Right.
Yesterday, yes, 2 days ago, Representative Nancy Mace from South Carolina, who I'm sure you all are very familiar with, introduced a Republican-led bill to fully decriminalize marijuana at the federal level, to bring it in line with the 36 states who have either decriminalized or legalized the substance over the past decade or so, which is just smart policy, helps police legitimacy, obviously helps the war on drugs to go away and us to pivot away from that. So she had 4 co-sponsors with her to introduce the bill, and so we've been supporting that, and think it's a great step for Republicans to get on board with smaller government like they should.
I had a conversation yesterday, actually, with a few listeners over at WBAP when I was filling in, which was a bit of a surprise to me. But in regard to Oklahoma and the fact they've got legalized medical marijuana, and there were a lot of people in Oklahoma who were basically advising Texas not to legalize marijuana. They said here the biggest problem is they've got a lot of people coming in to buy farmland, and they want to produce nothing but pot, and it's driving land prices up and et cetera. Kind of, I guess they thought it was upsetting the economic cart and land sale cart in Oklahoma, which it may have something to do with it. But also that the Chinese were coming in and buying up great swaths of land to grow pot, and also to grow, I guess, food. That was a strange, and I haven't delved into it much, but it's interesting how the roots of any topic like this spread out and go really deep and are diverse for a lot of different people. Because I agree with you. I think pot should be legalized. I mean, it's certainly no more dangerous, no more damaging than alcohol. If you apply the same rules to it. Why do you? What do you think is the big roadblock to it being legalized nationally, federally?
Yeah, well, I think you brought up 2 of the sort of most important issues, which is one, no, I am outside of my home.
Oh.
There's a couple of cars going by this early morning.
Sounded like jets.
No, it's just a Jeep. They're kind of loud, People
Gotcha.
like to flash those.
All right.
No, I think the biggest roadblock are 2 things, and thankfully both of which are addressed by Mason's bill, which is the reality that as this happens, states are all different. There shouldn't be, a one-size-fits-all way that this works throughout the states. So what worked in Oklahoma or didn't work in Oklahoma may or may not work in Texas, which may or may not work in Connecticut or Virginia or Ohio or what have you.
Right.
And so Mason's bill gives the states a lot of room and latitude to develop their own policies around, right? It doesn't force the states to legalize them. It just decriminalizes it on the federal level and lets states figure out what that looks like for enforcement within their borders federally without the state mandate. And then, the other really important thing I think that comes through with this is, like you mentioned, it's no more dangerous than alcohol. So why don't we regulate it federally, similar to the way alcohol is regulated? And so that's exactly what the bill does, puts the age for purchase to 21, which is where we have alcohol at, and subjects it to the same federal regulatory system that we currently have for alcohol at the federal level. So people are, more comfortable that it's not just a free-for-all. It's actually something we're very familiar with, obviously, having undone prohibition so long ago.
Right. I'm torn because I want government to keep its nose out of a lot of things, and they've proven over and over that they pretty much suck at everything that they do. And even at the state level, if you've have you been in Colorado actually does it well. Have you been to any of the dispensaries in Colorado?
I, in fact, have not.
It's fascinating the way the difference between like California and Colorado, just looking at the way they operate. California, at least the last time I saw it, had the most screwed up system for, going through the process. It was just, and the owner said it was onerous the way that they, all of the hoops that they had to jump through for state government, because of course, taxation. But it's amazing how government can take something that, on the black market for so many years was so easy. You had a connection, you bought, and that was it. And government gets involved, and now you have to jump through 18 hoops to do the same thing you were doing on the black market in about 2 steps. But it's there has to be some sort of control. Unfortunately, if I trusted the government, I would trust them more to do that. But Yeah, at the state
no
level,
kidding.
it would be nice for the federal government to get out of the way. And again, because I trust so little of what they do anymore, it would, they need to get out of the way for a lot of things. So, how long a timeline do you think that we're looking at for something like this to happen if Mace's proposal goes through?
Yeah. Well, I think she got a bunch of new co-sponsors just after she introduced yesterday. And the important dynamic here will be that Democrats have their preferred marijuana legalization / decriminalization bill. And like you said, the issue becomes these high taxes, what they use them for. So it'll be really most important kind of the negotiations that happen between this bill, the Let States Reform Act, and the other bill, which is the MORE Act. And like I said, the MORE Act has far higher taxes, more appealing to Democrats. Mace did a very good job of, reaching out to both sides of the aisle to construct the bill, recognizing the differences of states, without making it something that Democrats couldn't jump on board with. So the timeline always, questionable. We just had the infrastructure bill, the BIF, the Bipartisan Infrastructure Framework, signed into law. So obviously,
I like to call that the bankruptcy bill.
With that item, yeah, exactly. They're all bankruptcy bills at the end of the day if they spend any money. But hopefully they can kind of do some negotiations around this issue and realize, hey, supermajority of Americans are on board with this. A supermajority of states have already done this. And the kind of final point on this issue is in states that have legalized or decriminalized the substance, it really causes a problem for just the overall legitimacy of policing and the legitimacy of laws to have such a stark difference between a Schedule I narcotic at the federal level versus something that is fully legalized and regulated at the state level. If there's different cops enforcing different laws, of course you're going to question, is this a legitimate institution? That the institution being policing, and our hope would be that the answer is no, and this brings us closer to that.
Well, and you mentioned Schedule 1, and it's ridiculous that marijuana is in the same as Schedule 1 with PCP, crack cocaine, and heroin. It's just one of these things is not like the other. And incidentally, it'll be interesting as well to see those who vote for and or against the decriminalization of pot at the federal level, because California, their tax revenue in this last fiscal year was $800 million. So,
wow.
You could argue that
Colorado actually gave everyone in the state a income tax cut. I believe it was last year or 2 years ago on the ballot, as a result of the revenue that they've gotten from just simply legalizing and smartly regulating cannabis.
Right. Well, we'll find out. Are you miserable yet standing outside? Are you there? She got hit by an F-16, didn't
yes,
she?
Yes, hey, I'm here.
There you are.
I did not.
You got taken out by a jet.
No, I started to say she's still connected.
Okay. Well, I want you to go back inside now and have some chicken soup and some hot tea, because I think we've made you miserable outside long enough.
No, I needed some fresh air, get it moving in the lungs. I'll be feeling good here soon.
There you go.
Funny you should mention that. There she is. Ladies and gentlemen, direct from rstreet.org, Sarah Anderson, program manager for criminal justice and civil. I know, I swear I have not touched a toke at all this morning. I'm not. I'm really not.
It was what you ate before the show.
I like gummy bears, though. They're really good.
We should do a show on edibles one day.
No.
Green Acres is the place to be. Farm living is the life for me. Land spreading out so far and wide. Keep Manhattan, just give me that countryside.
Should we let her sing too? Okay.
New York is where I'd rather stay. I get allergic smelling hay.
Are they going to hammer us?
I just adore a penthouse view.
Darling, I love you, but give me Park Avenue.
The
Bum, bum.
Chores.
The stars.
Fresh air.
Times Square.
You are my wife.
Okay.
Goodbye, city life.
Green Acres, we are there.
The Daily Mojo.
That's funny. You
Sorry.
know how many people listening to this show right now remember that show?
7.
Maybe.
Okay,
But
3.
I mean, it was a good show. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, it was.
Was it Eva? Was that Eva?
Yes, Ava Gabor and what's his name? Eddie
Eddie-
Rabbit. Eddie Rabbit was
That
also
it was
the
not
co-star.
Eddie Rabbit.
Eddie Rabbit and
Eddie
Ava
Arnold.
Gabor. No, it was Arnold Schwarzenegger and Ava Gardner, who were in Green Acres. See, Beaver 73. That song is in my head all
Eddie
the time.
Albert. Eddie Albert.
Albert Schwarzenegger.
No, Albert. Eddie Albert.
Timmy, the retired pilot, just in. Urban Dictionary defines fish in the dark.
Yeah, everybody's throwing out that fishing in the dark.
Why? Why?
Yeah,
Why?
I don't know.
I didn't ruin it for anybody.
Tony on Ohio says, well, thanks, real Brad Staggs. Fishing in the dark started me on a downward spiraling rabbit hole on the Urban Dictionary.
I know, right? That's better than work. Beaver 73
Never
disclosed
hear
TV
that song the same way again.
And if you listen to the lyrics, it makes more sense
It does.
as the definition. Because why are you laying on your back looking at the stars if you're fishing?
Correct.
You also don't jump into the river if you're fishing. Beaver just retweeted disclose.tv. Just in, Czech Republic bans unvaccinated people from public events and services starting Monday. You also will not be able to go to the New Year's Eve celebration in Times Square unless you are vaccinated.
Oh, damn it.
I've
I
actually
just watch it on TV like I do every year.
I've wanted to go to the time. If there's one New Year's Eve tradition that I would like to, or event that I'd like to attend sometime in my life, it'd be the dropping of the ball in Times
In
Square.
Times Square?
I loved Manhattan. Unfortunately, it has turned back into what it was before Giuliani cleaned it up. So I don't see myself going there anytime soon. But
I visit, the only time I've ever been to New York, Manhattan, we visited Times Square. It was during the day. I think Giuliani was still mayor, but it was impressive, but I never want to go back to New York again.
what didn't you like? Just the movement, the hustle bustle.
I
What?
just maybe the hustle bustle, the fact that when we stepped out of Union Station there, because we took a train from DC, when we stepped out of the train station, you couldn't see sky except for a little sliver right at the very top.
Yeah, it's definitely a concrete canyon, and it's.
I mean, it was one of those experiences you've got to do, you know, to walk around down there and see things.
It has a beauty.
Some people
All
live
its
in
own.
that. I don't know how that.
If you to live comfortably, and I'm sure it's gone up since this time, because I think the last time I remember the report on TV, I think it was 10 years ago, so I'm sure it's a whole lot more now. But to live comfortably in Manhattan, you had to make like $500,000 a year. And when I say comfortably, I just mean, you're going to have food on the table, you'll be
A
able to
good,
pay
nice
the
size
rent.
apartment,
Right. Nah, not even a good sized apartment. I mean,
Yeah.
like in Friends, the size of that apartment they would have had to been gazillionaires to afford it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's just tiny. I had a friend was a producer over at the Today Show, and he had, what was it? I want to say 800 square feet in his flat, and he paid $2,000 or $3,000. I mean, it was something ridiculous for 800 square feet. If it was that big, it may have been smaller than that, but
that seemed like a low amount there.
it was. I don't know. Again, I think Manhattan has a beauty that is all its own, and Broadway is pretty cool. But if you watch The Deuce, I think it's on Showtime. It's a fascinating look back at the beginning of the porn industry in New York on 42nd Street, and then they shot the exteriors in New York, in modern day, current day, and they just had to move a couple of streets up to make it look like it was back in that day. But anyway, I like Manhattan, but I don't think I'll be going back anytime in the near future. Our sponsor this portion of the program happens to be Ramakan, Ramakazoo.
Romika Designs.
Romika. I always get that wrong.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be some of the things we have right here on the highlight
Yes,
table.
Brad. We have the 2021 Christmas ornament for Mojo 50 Radio. We
Yes.
have the Let's Go Brandon ornament.
Let's go, Brandon.
Let's go, Brandon.
Let's go, Brandon.
Wonder how long that's going to stick around. Let's go,
A
Brandon.
long time.
You think so?
Yes.
Is the PD ornament there? You probably I
I
can't
do
see
have the
it, but-
PD ornament. The little, the
Yeah, I
one
mean
looks
these
like-
are just some of the
one
examples
looks like
of the
shaped like
ornaments.
a Peter.
Yeah, that we make at Romika Designs. We have several other ornaments. We're doing a mass setup of ornaments starting this morning when I get down there after the show. I've got to cut a whole lot of ornaments. We're going to put them out on the website, and we've got a show this weekend we're going to take them to. So we're going to kind of make that headlong jump into Christmas now. So I want to
Shut
thank
your
everybody for the
dirty
orders.
whore mouth.
I got an order yesterday, Brad, for 5 of those wood poop here signs.
Did you
So-
really?
Oh, yeah, they want them customized and
See?
everything.
So-
And so that's what we do, folks. We customize stuff. So if you've got something on our site or you see something on our site that you would like to have customized, maybe put your name on it or something else, just reach out to us. Let us have the discussion with you. We'll figure out something.
Reach out and touch someone.
Oh, there's
Name
your
it.
F Flake.
Yes, it's the F Flake. Let's see if I can turn it around. My dexterity is not real good.
Your dick what?
Yeah, exactly. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a 2021 F Flake. We've got 33 versions of that. You can order any of those 33 versions. So
About 33?
33 different versions of that F
Wow.
Flake. Yeah.
And the really cool Christmas ornament here. The
Oh yeah, the fantastic. That's we've got several people who have ordered that as well. That's the USA ornament. We can do it on whiteboard or wood, stained wood with a flag back.
Home of the brave, united we stand. Sweet land of liberty, God bless America.
We've got that style of
What's left of it?
of ornament in all of the military branches,
Mm-hmm.
veterans. So yeah, reach out to us. Let us help you get some.
And on
gifts
the
ready for-
personalization, so you could get the wood poop here again, and then have like
That's-
down there about the Smith bathroom.
Yes, or in the particular case of the one we got yesterday, they want at the top like Dad's house.
Gotcha.
Wood poop
Okay.
here again. Yeah.
Wood poop here again. You know, you gotta look. God bless
Now we
America.
have we do have a whole new line of bathroom humor signs.
Can't do this shit in Russia, let me tell you.
Can't take a dump in.
Oh,
No,
only in America.
yeah, we have a whole new line of bathroom humor coming out. So just keep an eye on it. And if those of you, the last thing is if you haven't noticed, there isn't a what do you call it, a PG-13 section on the website now, adult humor. So yeah, that's where you'll find some of the stuff. I had to make
Wow.
I had to make a section.
RomikaDesigns.com. Oblivion Flickering says, are they really going to check the papers of every one of the million people who will be in Times Square New Year's Eve? They're, first of all,
they will check them coming through the door.
Yeah.
The gate.
you can't,
and-
because once you go in,
Yeah.
you can't get back out. It's been that way for a good many years, I think, since 9/11.
I was going to tell you, my wife and daughter went to a concert the other night that required vaccines.
And how'd they
Mm-hmm.
have to show their
They had to show their paperwork at the door,
A little
but
card?
they didn't have to wear a mask. Did not have to wear a mask.
they didn't have to, don't have to wear a mask, but if you aren't vaccinated, were they making people who didn't have proof wear masks?
No,
So nobody had to wear a mask, regardless of
No.
whether you were vaccinated or not.
no,
So
it's crazy. I mean, it's just they make this
what's the
statement.
point then?
They make the statement that you have to do this, this, and this, and then just don't care.
All righty. Well, and I mean, good. I would rather see businesses do that than, because they talk about segregation. It
Yeah.
is just amazing how, and I'm not going to say we're letting this happen, but it's like how, other than talking about it here and all of us sticking together, hanging together, as they say, otherwise we will surely hang separately. I don't know any other way to fight this. Obviously, to vote, these scumbags out of office, but we
No,
obviously.
there's such this hypocrisy going around. I mean,
Yes.
we're going to do this, we're going to force you to do that, and then just not do anything with it because it's such a pain in the ass. I guess I don't know.
I saw this on, I think it was on Facebook. It was on someone's Facebook page in one of their little stories that goes by. I don't even know what you call those at the top, where it's, I guess, the story, and you have little stills that go by. I'm so tragically unhip. I used to, there was a time I was hip. Not anymore. It's just serious. I'm just so freaking out there.
I believe the children are our future.
That,
Teach them well and let them lead the way.
actually, I hit that accidentally.
Oh,
I shouldn't have said that, should I?
No,
There was
it was
another
good.
earworm for Earworm Wednesday. I mean, edit that part where I said I screwed up out.
Yep.
So I saw this on, not the right bed, but what the hell. Remember that if you're still unvaxxed, you survived the biggest psyop in human history. And we're only reading this so you know what kind of anti-vax propaganda is out there. Don't necessarily agree with any of this. They elaborated an evil plan for decades. Do you realize how much time, resources, and effort they put into this? They studied all the possible ways to enslave your mind and make you take the vax. They tried to demoralize you by corrupting society from every possible corner. They tried to vilify and desensitize your mind with porn. They tried to lure you with money, gifts, and rewards. They tried to confuse you and make you doubt your own reality and identity. They tried to make you walk on your own principles, values, and ethics. They even turned your close ones against you. Almost everyone fell for it. Almost all of them cucked in, but not you. Just realize how much BS you went through and overcame. You never cucked. You are still unvaxxed. You are still a pureblood. Their tricks didn't work on you. So, to all the unvaxxed, I say to you, cheers, gentlemen. Stay based. That's interesting that I guess I've heard of it as a psyop before. And remember, we are only as part of
That's
our
true.
campaign
Yep.
to fight propaganda here on the Daily Mojo. I still think that might work.
it's never going to work.
It might. It might just edit this part out. But it's. There are a lot of people who think it's a psyop campaign. That's all I'm going to say. Here's another one. This was from Charlie Kirk. Let me get this straight. Biden films in front of a fake White House set. Kamala records a phony NASA video with child actors. Psaki says $3.5 trillion in spending will cost $0. Mayorkas says the border is closed. There is quite literally nothing real about this administration. I'd say he nailed that one.
All valid comments.
Yeah.
Valid statements.
It's the Mayorkas thing when Ted Cruz was trying to, ask him if the border was under control, if we had a secure border, if it was more secure now under Biden than it was under Trump. And Mayorkas says, he fumbled and stumbled, and eventually, it's more secure in the way that it more fits our values and morals as the American society. Like, wow, that was actually that was a nice line of bullshit he pulled right out of the air. I have to, again, credit where credit is due. I mean, didn't believe
Pulled it
but
from where bullshit comes from.
yes, he did. But, anybody who thinks the southern border is more secure under Biden,
Perfect. Nailed
I think pot is legal where you live.
it. Nailed it.
Thank you. Thank you. Check, please. Good night. I be back here again next week. More of your Daily Mojo next. So you see, I did intend to play Whitney Houston prior because that timed
That's
it out
right,
perfectly.
because
I
timing
was just,
worked out.
I was just fibbing you when I said it was a mistake. I sometimes do that.
I was just fibbing you.
But the best part of fishing in the dark is when you get a nibble. Oh, where is real 209? Has anyone heard?
I haven't heard anything.
I know Beaver was keeping up. Well, this is old.
It is old. I think it's being played from yesterday.
Just checking.
If they don't fix it by the end of today, I'll have to go back to manually doing it. I hate that. I don't know why they can't keep their shit updated. As much as we pay for it, they should keep it updated.
How much do we pay for it?
We don't.
Oh. So.
So I can't really bitch about
So there's that. I was going to say, wait.
I knew you'd ask the question.
We pay
that's
for
why I
that? Oh, look at this. A potentially significant storm could disrupt Thanksgiving travel, but probably not as much as the TSA. Don't hear much about the TSA fustercluck that's going to happen next week with the unvax percentage. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Government executive. Can put a man on the moon, but cannot find a mic boom that works for me. Swear. I never in my.
figure out how to hang it from the ceiling.
It's the ceiling fan that's killing me. I mean, I could hang it from the ceiling. It would you just hear all the time. That might get annoying after a while. I couldn't possibly. Nah. Here's a decade of saying, sure, just share and share anything, just saying. How do I get a badge? I'm feeling a. Sarah, thank you for reminding me about Pirate Cigar. I always forget about Jen's company. I don't mean to. The Chinese and Russians buying up land, they also don't follow the guidelines. They just grow it. When they have too much of it, they flush it or put it into rivers and ponds. They need to fact check that.
Do I want to keep my penis?
Cat wants some black titty. We wouldn't be so good. Mojo 50. The mothership has landed.
Thank you, Sarah, over on the Facebook chat room for reminding me. Ain't You a Peach is on Mojo 50 Sundays at noon Eastern. That would be 9 a.m. Pacific. What is that in Laotian time?
No idea.
7.
No, what is it in Laotian time?
7.
Noon Eastern.
Okay. That works. Just one of the many new programs here on Mojo 50 Radio. We are kind of like pirate radio, except we're not on an island somewhere. We need to do that. We need to set up our transmitting equipment on an island somewhere in the middle of the ocean so they can't find us. Right?
Pirate radio.
And then we need to obviously man the private island with scantily clad servers.
Correct.
You can imagine whatever you'd like there. I mean, just whatever flavor. They're going to be paid well. It's not like we're making them do it. They'll be paid.
Mm-hmm.
Come on. We all pay at some point. Oblivion flickering on the Twitter. Someone must be able to name something real about the Biden administration. Anyone? Ferris? Bueller? It's... See, the thing is with these yutzes that are in charge, they are all a bunch of cardboard cutouts. they're all just puppets for Obama. I'm convinced of that. At this point, it's given his statement, Barack Obama's statement about how if he could somehow find a way to, be making the decisions without having to go through the day-to-day grind. Remember that little speech he gave?
I do.
Oh yeah, if I could just find a way. Guess what? He found a way. He found a way, and I think that way was. I think the contract was signed on that after the Iowa caucuses. I think that if you think about it now, it all kind of makes sense. Remember, the Iowa caucuses were a giant fustercluck in 2020, and they didn't have a clear-cut winner weeks. No one cared by the time it did happen. Biden won, didn't he? I don't even remember, to be honest. And it was after that, between there and New Hampshire, that Biden disappeared for, 24, 48 hours.
Into his basement?
Yeah, but there was nothing. I mean, he went radio silent. I think that's when the team was...
They sat him down.
Mm-hmm. Here's the deal.
Here's the situation.
And then after that little meeting, then I think we got word. I may have my timeline wrong, but I don't think so. Then after that, we got word that Iowa was won by Biden, which made no sense. And, wasn't it Buttigieg came out and he was pissed? Am I remembering this right?
I don't remember Buttigieg being pissed, but why?
Because
he was still running against Biden at the time.
Right.
Yeah.
So all these people had been, and Kamala had she dumped out at that by then anyway. So she'd already been given the deal. In retrospect, it's kind of like that clown video, the whole mask thing. It's just a mask. And he described perfectly what was going to happen. That is the creepiest part of that whole thing is the vaccine thing, the prediction he made about vaccines. That you won't be able to go anywhere. In Austria, they are, and was it Oblivion? I get his name mixed up. I apologize, my bad. But in Austria, they are checking everybody. You said, how would they ever be able to check, millions of people in Times Square? The Austrian government.
Well, you just heard on the news, or was it the news that we just heard it on?
You can't remember shit either.
Yeah, that it'll be by invitation only this year.
The Times Square?
Yep.
Well, there you go. So between the two of us, we can't remember when our own birthdays are.
Yep.
So the Austrian government now is, they put everybody under lockdown. I think that started last Monday. There is now video of Austrian police patrolling shops and highways, checking people's vaccination status.
This is scary as hell, dude.
It is.
This is how you show your children the separation between that country and one with a constitution. And we're already on the edge there with us. But that definitely shows the separation.
I'm not going to... Do I know that Austria doesn't have a constitution?
Well, it ain't like ours.
To look into that. I'm not that smart when it comes to government stuff. All I know about government is I want them the hell out of my face. Beyond that, I'm really not... I'm learning, but I'm by no means a scholar.
Sonderangeboten sind, sondern ihnen geht es den 2G-Nachweis. Denn nur dann dürfen sich Personen, so wie hier im Südbau...
I hope he's not cussing in Austrian.
Modegeschäft
Or is that German?
Wäre sonst nur der Gang zum Supermarkt.
Could be Chinese, for all I know. That is video of the police going through stores in Austria and stopping people on the frickin' street, asking for their papers. Could never happen.
How do you say it?
Your papers, please. Get me your papers. You must stop the vehicle now. I want to see your papers.
The people?
Nine.
God, dude.
It's
the only reason we're not there right now is because of the Second Amendment. That's the only reason we are not in the same boat right now.
I think you're right. I think that it's that has to be it. They are just afraid. That's why they are so damn terrified. That's why they're treating these January 6th detainees as horribly as they can, because they know the stories will get out that they're being treated like absolute dogs, that they are being held in inhumane conditions. I mean, for crying out loud, they're not mass murderers.
Nope.
As a matter of fact, the only people that did kill somebody at January 6th events was the Capitol Police. They shot an unarmed woman. And you can try to, I've seen people try to spin that into
I'm curious as to know
terrorist.
what's happening. What's happening with these people? You know, Brad, you and I as radio people can talk on the
Professional
radio all day
broadcasters,
long.
yes.
Professional broadcasters can talk all day long about how unfair and they're being treated and everything like that. But what is happening with them? Is anybody pushing to get them out?
Julie Kelly is doing a fabulous job at American Greatness, keeping an eye on what's happening. The story
that
came
Green
out-
and Gomert went down?
Yes, and they
You
wouldn't
talked
let
to
them
them?
in. I think
Yep.
they may have been back since then. I don't know.
I'm interviewing her in about 3 hours, by the way, so we'll see.
To
how we do.
MTG?
Yeah.
You are?
I'm not physically, though. It's Don and Donna, but I'm recording it. So we got to bring them in. So I'm anxious to get her
Hook a
on
brother
and
up.
ask her, and ask her how, literally, because, the videos that I sent you of her talking with Steve Bannon, that's a story in and of itself.
Mm-hmm.
But it makes you think she was in a completely different country to listen to her talk about how they're being treated over there.
This whole thing is quite, but again, there are a lot of us, and I know that we have to do this because we all have mortgages or rent payments, and you have to buy food and stuff, like that, and insurance and all that. So most of us are focused on, hey, we got to get up, got to go to work, we got to do what we're doing to make our lives work, because
We
otherwise,
can't worry about that. We can't worry about somebody else's stuff.
and I get it, it's a time constraint there, I really do, but they know that. These fascist totalitarian a-holes know that, and they know, from experience, who's going to make noise and who won't make noise. So we just have to continue, as I said, to do the best we can. And it's an old Amway book, the title, all you can do is all you can do, but all you can do is enough. And see, at some point you cannot keep beating yourself up. You do what what you're capable of doing. You know what effort and what time you have, and whether or not you can do one additional thing, or if you're maxed out.
That's correct. And it's not, the answer is not what can you do alone to support them or prevent this. It's what can you do as a country.
Yeah. And
And
people.
I'm gonna tell you, MTG, when her and Gomert went down, and she came back with all of this information, she riled up the freaking masses, dude.
Good.
Because those people are being way mistreated.
Yeah.
And whoever's in charge of the way that they're being treated ought to be thrown in there with them.
Well, the judge in D.C., he ripped them a new one, but apparently they're not real scared of the judge, and that goes back to people in positions of power were either put there by Obama or other sympathetic figures, and they know that they've got protection. Here's the thing, they'll be protected, and as long as they're useful. As long as they're a useful idiot.
Yeah.
And then as soon as they're not, they'll light them on fire too. And that's what these people don't understand.
I just envision them bickering about who has authority over all of that.
Right. Our justice system is effed. It is not a justice system. It is totally phenorked from the bottom to the top. It needs to. It's the only thing I've seen or heard the Patrice Sellers of Colors of BLM, whatever her name is, when she said that our justice system is broken. I said, I agree with you. Totally agree with you. But so is every other stupid system in this government.
God, this is an old one.
It's not that old.
Uh,
Like 10 years old. Was it 2002?
What?
What?
You're a liar. I remember hearing this in high school.
The Daily Mojo.
I almost had you. You thought about it.
1982.
You thought about it for a
It's
second.
probably well before that.
Actually, I think it was around 1980, wasn't it? That's Out of the Blue, ELO.
ELO.
That was from the
I
one.
used to have all their albums.
That is the one with the big UFO on the front.
Yes. Yeah.
And if I haven't mentioned it, the UFO series on Showtime. I know I did mention it, but I'm just doing it again. It is. Some of this stuff I've not seen. Some of the videos I have not seen, and I've been impressed by what this show has shown. It's a J.J. Abrams production, so it's pretty top notch, and it is. If you find a way, and like I said, Showtime, you can get it for $4 a month for 4 months, and then you can just cancel. That's what I do. But if you have a chance to watch it, it's pretty eye opening, I would say. Who is our? My pillow. My pillow. My pillow could be your pillow. Send me the pillow that you dream on, or drool on. Either way.
Yeah.
You ever smell somebody's pillow and it just reminds you?
Oh
of
my
them?
God.
What?
And you smell drool? What?
No, I said you don't smell. Well,
that's the first thing that popped into my head with you.
When you
There's
sleep with a
pillow that you
drooler?
drool on. Have you ever smelled somebody's pillow?
Have you never smelled someone's pillow and go, oh man, that smells like them? I remember Kevin.
Yeah. I mean, Misty's pillow smells like her.
What Bob smell like?
I don't know who Bob is.
Okay, sorry.
Bob's your brother.
I didn't mean
Bob's your
He's your brother.
Bob's your uncle. That's how you say it. That's right.
Bob's your mama. It's 2021. It's possible. If you go to mypillow.com, you can get a pillow that does not smell like anything but new. That's what he should do, is start putting scents on them. Just this one smells like a French hooker.
If we could have a scent that smelled like fresh washed sheets, I'd spray it on my pillow every night, because I don't wash my sheets every day.
I was going to say,
other
do
day,
you
every
ever
week.
wash your sheets?
Of course.
Do you do
Now,
it?
my kids, on the other
Do
hand,
you
their
do
shit
it?
will stand up in the corner by themselves. But
Who
I
does? Who
Misty,
does the
no,
wash?
no, I don't. Oh
Yeah, I
no,
was gonna
I'm
say,
not even going to do that.
You
'cause
have
I
a
know
woman there to do your
I,
wash.
I know.
That's what
not that I have a woman doing my wash.
I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying.
She
Wow.
takes care of all of that. She does that. That's our Sunday thing. We have to lock the dogs out of the bedroom.
Really? What do you do? Is that a euphemism?
No. If you don't, they get on the regular mattress and tear it up.
Right. Do you have one of those like a waterproof cover on the mattress itself?
We do.
Smart.
Yeah.
It catches the drool before it gets into the mattress.
Or the dog piss.
Or,
Yes, you're welcome.
or there's that.
Or my piss. I don't know. I am getting a little older. Jeez.
Cooper, the cat before Doc Kitty, when she was getting older, she'd get these urinary tract infections. I guess older cats get that, and poor thing, she'd get up on the bed and just, I guess she couldn't hold it. It was like,
Oh.
yeah.
Yeah.
Not a good thing. But again, I don't know that he sells that Lindell sells mattress covers. I mean, waterproof ones. He might. He has his mattress toppers.
Yeah, he does. He has the topper.
Is that waterproof?
I don't think so.
So
Because
like
it's just a
so it's like a big
cushion.
sponge.
Yeah.
So-
Meta Mississippi says, I miss the 80s pillow smell of perms. If you know, you know.
There was like ammonia. Didn't that what perms? Didn't they smell like ammonia?
Yes.
Not pneumonia.
No.
Ammonia. Wade Robertson said my brother used to fart in my pillows.
God.
New fart smell from my pillow. But despite what I think there's something to be said for a pillow that just smells new.
Oh, yeah.
And if you go to mypillow.com and use the promo code Mojo50, you will get a pillow that smells fresh. And then if you use some of those little beads, those ball beads, the bead ball, what are they called? Not butt beads. The little thingies, the things you sprinkle into the wash.
Yes, those.
What are they called?
I have no idea.
They're too
Brad.
expensive now. I don't think I'm going to buy them anymore.
No, I don't.
But they did smell good for a while. I just can't remember what they're called.
That's true.
Unstoppables? No, it's a movie.
No, that's right.
Anyway,
the My Pillows are actually really good pillows.
Yeah, they are. Yeah. Oh, everything he sells is. I haven't seen a stinker in the bunch yet, so I'll give him that. MyPillow.com. Use the promo code Mojo50 and save significant moolah. And now a word from the President of the United States.
Folks, when you see these projects start in your hometowns, I want you to feel what I feel. Pride. Pride of what we can do together as the United States of America.
And
as some,
the what?
You know, I think the same goes if I
Right.
don't want to get into it in detail
No.
because you're going to be freezing, but here.
Right.
But my plan to build back better
uh-huh.
for our people.
Right.
Getting folks back to work and reducing the cost of things like child care, elder
Right,
care, housing,
right.
health care, prescription drugs.
I like the middle part. Tell me the middle part again.
Towns, I want you to feel what I feel. Pride.
Uh-huh.
Pride of what we can do together as the United States of America.
Yeah, and then this.
And as some, you know, I think the same goes if you. I don't want to get into it in detail because you're going to be freezing, but here.
Because, you know, I don't really want to go too deep into the weeds because you're too stupid to understand me. That's what it sounds like every time he says that. I don't want to go into too much detail because you're too stupid to know, to understand.
And so am I.
And so am I. This guy is, and again, how did he get to be? Never mind. Don't answer that. On YouTube, there is, if you're not subscribed to this one, it's another good one just for the humor, because you all need to laugh, otherwise you cry, says the guy who depresses everyone on Monday, is Brandon News Broadcasting. This is, he put this one out, this was Monday, and the title is Biden's Stupidity Causes Him to Slip. See if you can decipher this.
You know, I've adopted the attitude of the great Negro at the time pitcher in the Negro Leagues, went on to become a great pitcher in the pros, into the Major League Baseball after Jackie Robinson. His name was Satchel Paige. And I'm eager to hear next from my good friend.
I'm sorry, what?
President Biden's son, Hunter, is being accused of using the N-word multiple times while texting with his white lawyer.
Say what? It just, he's such an idiot. And I'm not sure he was ever smart. I don't know that he was ever
entirely possible.
Going back into the 70s, because everybody blames it on age. I mean, he was more coherent when he was younger, but I don't think he was ever smart. I think the guy is just one of those, he's a good old boy. He knows how to come up and pat you on the back. How you doing? You know what? No offense to used car salesman. He's a great used car salesman. Because he comes, hey, how you doing? You know what? You're from Philly? Yeah, I got friends in Philly. Hell, I'm from Philly. And he does that whole relatable crap that really isn't relatable. What was the thing he said about bridges? If you're on a ship or if you're on a train and you see a bridge, you have to take the other. You have to take the other route. And what was that? I know I sound about as intelligent as he does at this point, but I'll find that for after the break. And don't you know, if you're in the White House at this point, and we've had stories about that, where they all face palm they turn down the monitors in the White House when he begins talking. Out in L.A., the FBI is working on, after they're done bugging your phone, two people, Richard Avazian and Marietta Terabellian, they were found guilty in a $21 million bank small business association fraud during the COVID thing, where they're giving out all those SBA loans. And somehow they bilked the system for $18 million. I don't know how you do that, but remember, a lot of big companies got money out of that thing too. So they were about to be sentenced, and they cut their ankle monitoring bracelets, and pew, they are out of here. They have been missing since August. The guy was sentenced to 17 years in prison. His wife was received a 6-year sentence. That's almost identical to what my friend Steve and his girlfriend at the time got for bankruptcy fraud. Yeah. 17 years, I think she got 10. But they, I guess we're supposed to be in court on Monday, and they have been gone since August. They left their kids a note and said, "See ya. Wouldn't want to be ya."
There's no telling where they are now.
They are. The FBI is. Remember, $18 million. They apparently got away with that, according to the court. The FBI is awarding up to $20,000 for information leading to their arrest. 20 grand. Cheap bastards.
Yep.
Really? I mean, if you knew you were going to go to prison for 17 years, would you stick around?
Oh, man, that's hard to say.
Right. I don't know where I'd go.
I don't know where I'd go either.
Dig a hole. Just dig a hole and climb in it. And hope no one looked in the garden.
Yep.
In Vegas, squatters in Las Vegas dismembered the body of a dead woman whose mummified remains they found sitting in a chair in her home, and then buried her in the backyard before selling off her belongings. All right.
How do they figure out that that's what they did?
The remains of Lucille Payne, 82 years old, were discovered in April by cops in a shallow grave in the backyard of the Shore
So they
Breeze
got a
Drive
tip.
home.
They got tipped
Apparently
off.
so.
Yeah.
It could have been the smell. Investigators believe Payne died of natural causes in the residence in summer of 2018. But her corpse sat in a chair until squatters discovered it earlier this year and took over her home. Remember Vacation? When they went, they had Grandma on top.
Yeah.
And they
Yeah, Grandma
and they
was hanging
sat
out.
her dead in the chair on the back porch with a note. It's really happened without the note. Her corpse sat in a chair until squatters discovered it, took over her home. Payne had lived alone, had no close family. After finding her, the decision was made between several people that they were going to dismember her body and bury her, then basically drain her finances and sell off her belongings fraudulently. Okay, wait a second. If she had no friends, no family, nobody had come forward, right? You know what they're pissed about? What the city is. Who would all of this have gone to?
Oh, yeah, the state.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they hate the competition. The squatters got to her before the state did, because the state would have done pretty much the same thing, right? I mean, they would have buried her in a
They
potter's
would've buried
field.
her, yep.
And then
Sure would have.
taken her assets and sold them at auction.
But they wouldn't have gone to jail for it.
Right, exactly. Interesting. Drained her finances. How did they get into? Oh, I guess maybe she probably had her passwords written down next to her if she had a computer. The home appeared to be vacant for years. Neighbors said her bills had been set to autopay, so nobody was notified of her death 3 years ago. She had no family. Nobody missed her. Wow. The state and government hates the competition. That's what it's all about.
A free exchange of ideas.
They really do.
Did you see that thing I sent you last night? I forgot to ask you. The Laura Ingraham thing.
Oh, yes. Thank
That
you for
was
reminding
the
me.
dumbest ass thing I've ever seen. She could not be that dumb.
I wouldn't think so.
So many shows today. You know, I was watching an episode of You where measles came up. Wait. When did I mention measles? I don't know. It was on You. What was on me? What are you talking about? I never had the measles. What's on You? We never did a measles and vaccine episode. Is this a joke? I know. It was on You. It was on You. I never had.
That sounds like a bit.
It had to have been a
He
bit.
didn't. He never says it was
Because
on.
he doesn't stop and explain it quicker.
No.
Yeah.
No.
All right, I've got Brandon.
Yeah, I don't.
What are you talking about? It's stupid. It was an episode of a show. What's it called?
You.
It's called You. I've never done a show on measles.
This is a who's.
It's got to be. It has to be. Hey, Brandon.
Hi, Brandon.
We were watching the Laura
What
Ingraham
up?
thing where she was going back and
Can
forth.
you hear
with this
that?
guy.
Is that playable?
What?
I mean, if I wanted to play it. Could he be heard? I guess it could be heard because we
you
heard
could
it.
hear that, Brandon, right?
Yeah, I could hear it a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, maybe
Yeah,
if you
it
weren't
was-
so busy running your mouth.
He wasn't talking.
I'm
all right, back
so
in
funny.
10. Hang on.
And get you off to work at AmericanPrideRoasters.com.
The Daily Mojo.
Now, I've said it before. I'll say it again. Beaver has a great voice.
Who does?
Beaver.
Beaver.
I didn't know beavers could talk. But, sorry, I'm looking at all the comments here. Beaver's new show, Damn It with Beaver, on
Saturday
at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Well, I listened to it on the repeat on Monday prior to this program.
Yeah.
So I'm fabulous. I mean, I'm just saying, if you ever wanted to start a service where you charged, 99 cents a minute, so you'd sell a few.
There you go. Okay.
This is, and I know Brandon is standing by, but I wanted to, because this is, I've seen this on and around the interwebs. Laura Ingraham, and who was her guest? I don't even know who it was.
I don't know.
Some dude. And people are saying that Laura Ingraham is so stupid she doesn't know what the show You is on Netflix.
Yeah.
And with Penn Badgley. And so this is their little, I'm pretty sure you can hear this. If you can't, get a new radio. This is Laura Ingraham and her guest.
Watch this. It's so funny.
Storylines in so many shows today. I was watching an episode of You where measles came up. Wait. When did I mention measles? I don't know. It was on You. What was on me? What are you talking about?
Nah, see.
What's on You? We never did a measles and vaccine episode. Is this a joke? I know. It was on You. It was on You. I've never had measles. What are you talking about? It's stupid. It was an episode of a show.
Yeah, I see people say she's so stupid she doesn't even know what that show is, and I'm not buying it. I think that was their.
It gets a little worse, so to speak, as you go along with it. But
that was a poor attempt at Laurel and
a
Hardy.
bit, yeah.
Yeah. Or Abbott and Costello.
Abbott and Costello, yeah.
See, you're so stupid you don't even know the difference between those two. Jeez, some people's kids. Speaking of, I think we're receiving it now. The message is long and distinguished.
Less than 1/10% of all Americans can understand Morse code. Maybe it's because he's a millennial. Maybe it's because he's just that smart.
Yep.
Brandon Morse and Brad Staggs on the Daily Mojo. Now.
The Brandon Morse is on the phone right now. How are you, buddy?
Not bad. I didn't hate the segment. It could have been done a little bit better. Like I think it went on too long.
Yeah.
Yes, it did go on too long.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, if they had just cut it off sooner, maybe it'd have been a little bit more believable. But yeah, as it kept going, it was like, come on, guys, you know what it's a Laurel and Hardy ripoff, which I'm always a fan of. I love a good Laurel and Hardy joke.
Everybody knows it's Abbott and Costello.
Yeah.
Because I said the same thing.
He's like, whatever, shut up.
Just whatever, shut up. No, it was a poor. Some people, what they say about comedy, it's all about timing. Thank you. Great minds think alike.
You're welcome.
So, did you watch any of the crap show yesterday, or I guess over the past 2 weeks, the Rittenhouse thing? You wrote a great piece. It's over on Red State. The Kyle Rittenhouse trial has given us a very good look at our enemies. And what has it shown us about our enemies, other than that they don't know how to hold a gun?
Well, I mean, there's that. So, don't expect anything from an armed uprising from the left. They're not going to be able to understand what the hell they're doing. I think if we're really going to analyze the Rittenhouse trial, I think that there's some important things that we got to take away from it. And it's not what everyone just thinks it is. It's not, about self-defense. Don't get me wrong. It is. I think that it's great that we learned, as a society, what we can and can't get away with in terms of self-defense. But moreover, the way that people are reacting to this trial, to me, is very important. You and I talk a lot about how the media pretty much has a hold on society and can really, really mess with the truth in the way that people see things. That's part of what they do. We got to a really good look at what the media is all about during this trial. They would literally have this guy, Groten, I can't remember. I forget.
I call him Bicepless Boy.
Bicepless, there you go.
Yeah.
The one-armed man.
Right. Do you hold a gun with your right hand? No, not anymore.
That's his jerking hand, too. That sucks.
That was good. Anyway.
But anyway, so like he actually straight up admitted that he charged Rittenhouse with his gun drawn with the intent to harm. And what did the media do? They straight up tried to make it seem like he was a hero trying to stop Kyle Rittenhouse.
Yep.
And even I think one outlet was even like, yeah, he was going up there to try to get him to stop and ask nicely. Yeah, because if I'm going to ask someone nicely to stop something, I'm going to approach them with my gun drawn.
Right.
As I'm chasing them down, because that's a perfect way. But yeah, the media was trying to spin it so that Rittenhouse still came off as this horrible, crazed right-wing dude. Completely opposite, as the trial has shown us. But the other thing that really drives me crazy, and I don't blame every single person, because, like I said, a lot of people, I've said before, a lot of people get their news from the mainstream media because they don't really have the time to go in and really study every single thing like we do.
Exactly.
They come home, they raise their kids, they go to work, their day is full. And so, they get their news in passing. And so I can't really blame them. But the people who do pay attention to this trial and who do understand what's happening, these people are straight up siding with evil. Let's remember that Kyle Rittenhouse killed two dudes, one of which was a pedophile.
Yep.
All right. And both were trying to chase him down and hurt him. All right. He shot a third in the arm. He survived. This guy has a criminal record over a decade long, including hitting his grandmother.
Yep.
He's all about that elderly abuse. He stalked his ex-girlfriend and smashed her window at 4 a.m. just to intimidate her.
Yep.
He's got priors, including being drunk while carrying an illegal firearm.
Yep.
So, this guy is bad news. All right. He is not a good guy. And yet, despite all of that, these people still want to make him out to be a hero. They want to make the pedophile out to be a hero. All right?
Yes.
Because they just don't want they don't want Kyle Rittenhouse to look like a good guy at all. They're willing to dismiss. One protester even said that talking about that one guy, Rosenbaum's pedophilia, is, quote, hate talk. All right? They don't care. They don't care that they're siding with evil. They don't care that they're giving a pass to evil. They just want their political opposites to not win.
Yeah,
they're willing to stand back and be like, "Hey, you're child touching? Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. If you're an activist for all the right reasons."
The people that were standing out in front of the courthouse yesterday, there was a clip of them. I think Fox or somebody tweeted it, and they were yelling, "Joe, and Andrew, and our heroes," something to that effect. And they had on their little posters heroes with pictures of Huber and Rosenblum, and it's I don't even know how you begin to justify that with knowing what the criminal history of these two dirtbags was. It's mind-blowing. It really is. And I wonder if they really believe that standing there, or if they know that they're just out there pushing propaganda.
Right. I think there is a certain level of brainwashing. They say that, there are certain stages that you go through in your political journey, especially if you go through the left.
Right.
When you enter a state where you could literally shove facts in someone's faces, but at that point they're so brainwashed that they will interpret the facts or completely ignore the facts or make excuses for the facts.
Right.
So that they can continue to believe that they are the good guys. And they'll openly do this without any sort of shame, really. And it's sad, but I think a lot of people have entered that kind of space in our society. And that's really scary to think about. These people could literally be staring at the worst criminal in the world, and they will consider them a complete hero if their side tells them to.
Yeah.
We're seeing that a lot. We're seeing that a lot today. These three guys that Kyle Rittenhouse shot were horrible, horrible people, each with horrible crimes in their backstory. And Rittenhouse, according to the trial, has done nothing wrong. You know, everything he did was in self-defense. Even he never brought the gun over state lines. He was in the state when he received the gun. There's no law against carrying a long rifle.
Right.
In that state.
And his dad lives
everything
there.
he did legally.
His dad lives in Kenosha. It's like everything that they initially reported about him was wrong. Everything.
Right. Exactly.
It's amazing. And I did not know about the long gun exception myself. And I, like you said, we pay attention to this sort of stuff, as painful as it can be. But
most states actually have that. You can carry around a long gun without a permit or anything like that.
Remember a few years ago here in Texas that happened? Remember the guys that were walking down the street somewhere, and I don't remember where it was, but they got pulled over, and didn't they get their guns taken away from them? But they got them back.
I don't recall that.
I remember this story, and people were calling in all whiny because they saw somebody carrying a rifle down the street. It's like, gun. Oh no!
I remember one story where they had some guys with long rifles walked into a Chipotle, and they were freaking people out. They weren't doing anything with the rifles. And to be honest with you, they did it just to get a reaction and to try to prove a point. Which, come on, guys, we don't need that.
Right.
But I mean, there's nothing illegal about it. They can completely do it unless the place says otherwise. No firearms in this establishment. Then if it's not clearly listed on the door or anything like that, then it's completely fine to bring a gun in there if you have one.
Right.
But in any case, regardless, there is no law that Kyle Rittenhouse broke. He was, and here's the other thing that we need to really stop and think about: are the people who are against Kyle Rittenhouse saying that we should not defend ourselves against those who try to attack us?
Well,
and that's what I really kind of pulled away from this was.
You can't claim this. You can't claim self-defense if you brought the gun. That was the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
That was dumb. Like, having a gun on you does not automatically make you guilty of anything.
No.
It also doesn't make you not innocent. And that's something that I think we're losing track of in our society, thanks in part to the way the mainstream media paints this. If I walk into a place and I'm carrying a gun, I have not committed a crime. I am very innocent. I have done nothing.
Right.
Okay? Me having a gun doesn't automatically make me, a criminal or liable for anything unless I pull the trigger or someone takes the gun from me and pulls the trigger, right?
Yeah.
It's just an object until it's used.
Yep.
And even then, if I do use it, if I do use it and I'm completely legal in my use of it, I'm still innocent. I might have just killed a person, but I'm still innocent.
Until proven guilty. Yes.
Until proven, yeah.
It's
okay. So, it's not the way things work in our society today, but they're trying to make it out so that Kyle Rittenhouse, because he had a gun, suddenly is the bad guy. Well, he shouldn't have been there. Well, why not?
Right.
Why shouldn't he have been there?
Right.
He didn't do anything wrong. He wasn't doing anything wrong. In fact, from what it seems, he was trying to help people.
And
he did not use that gun until he was attacked.
And I was guilty early on of when the story, his mother dropping him off. I don't know if that's true or not, if she dropped him off on the street or if he was at his dad's house. She picked him up. I have no idea. But I did, and I still do. It's kind of the 17-year-old kid I'm not sure I would do that with my kid.
Right.
But that's my decision.
I wouldn't either.
It's her, that's the beauty of America is you have a right to make stupid decisions or ignorant decisions,
right?
And see how they play out. But again, I'm not even sure what the real story is there now.
Right. Well, yeah, and but I mean, Kyle Rittenhouse getting out. Now, here's the thing. I mean, let's not dismiss the fact that yes, he was dropped off in the middle of a riot with a long gun. All right, that in itself is a decision that would invite and put himself into more of a position to have had to use that gun, which he did. All right, it ended up happening. But still, if we're looking at the legality of it,
right?
Did he do anything illegal there? No.
Right.
No, he
Exactly.
didn't. He's fine.
Yeah, and he was, and the kid had training. That's the other thing, because I heard somebody say, well, you know, he's dropped. He has no training with a gun. It's like, actually, I think he's had a lot of training because he's
clearly had a lot of training.
Yeah,
I saw a picture. I guess it was on Facebook, and I'm not even sure if it was a real picture, but it looked like it was, of him being in cadet programs as he was growing up with the fire department and with the police,
like a police ranger
cadet
or whatever. Police cadet.
So the kid's always had this in his blood.
Right.
He's always wanted to help, right? I mean, you see kids like that in school today, and you're going, "Thank God these kids are still around."
Right.
But,
and he was a hell of a good shot. I mean, he was either really lucky on each of those shots, or he's a hell of a good shot, because you couldn't create an obstacle course that would be more challenging to your aim and your handling of a firearm and be successful at it than he was, because one dude's chasing him. He has to turn around and shoot. The guy was trying to grab his gun. The other one, with the skateboard, swinging at him, and he gets off the shot. And then gross bicepless boy. I mean, you could make an argument he didn't even shoot to kill on him. He shot to disable him, which, if you're going to disable someone's arm, that's the way to do it. Short of shooting off their hand, you take out the bicep, and you're not lifting anything anymore. So, I mean, again, credit where credit is due. So,
absolutely.
So it's a strange damn world. It really is.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's a strange world. I just think that we need to put things more in perspective, and it's going back to the whole, it showed us what our enemies are. I mean, it's clear now that these people, I mean, it was clear before, but they really demonstrated this. They want us, they think first off that carrying a gun is villainous and that we should not carry guns at all. They also think that using our guns against them while they are attacking us or burning our cities down or destroying our property or whatever is also villainous. Their ideal is that they should be able to do whatever they want to us and harm us and hurt us and destroy us and do whatever, and we should just sit here and take it. And then if we even raise one finger against them, no matter who they are, no matter what they do, we're the bad guys.
Yeah. Well,
it kind of makes you care a lot less, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
About what they think.
And quite frankly, if nothing else, it has proven to us that they are a bunch of dicks.
Yep.
Bottom line.
And Gross Curse can't use his anymore, so that's fun.
Somebody said that's his fishing hand too. And referring back to the nitty-gritty dirt band. The Brandon Morse on the Twitters out there at redstate.com, and a great piece about the trial. And just real quickly, is he gonna be guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty. Easy.
Right. I guess we'll see. And also tomorrow morning, Tuesday and tomorrow on twitch.tv under the Morse code. And my feelings may be sufficiently healed. I actually may be there tomorrow.
Woo! All right, good, because we're going to have a game where chat votes on how a man's life goes.
I'll bring
there you go.
I'll bring my fishing pole.
Oh, what is this?
Cannon.
I got it.
You're welcome.
William Conrad.
The Fat Man.
Guest stars Scott Marlowe, John Larch, Ramon Biri,
wow,
Stuart Moss.
Is that Don LaFontaine?
Special guest star
I don't think so.
Christine Belford.
Tonight's episode,
To Ride a Tiger.
Hey. Right? What somebody did with Carol Baskin?
That was 60s and 70s, right?
70s. That was
70s,
part of the,
yeah.
Was it the Sunday Night Mystery Movie? Wasn't that what that was? No, it was CBS.
Dude, I remember that because that movie started at like 10:30 at night after the news, the local news here.
Cannon, starring
Do you remember Mannix?
Oh yeah, Mannix was another good one. That was back when TV was good. Damn it.
And that was
Television
back when
was
TV
good.
went dark at midnight.
Wow. Hey, I don't think we need to get into the racial
No,
stuff.
you know what I'm talking
Yeah, I
about.
did. The little Indian would come. Oh man, there's more.
He would come out
Yeah, the
crying.
little Indian would
he
come
would
up.
cry a little bit. Then
They-
they'd play the national anthem, and then
Mm-hmm. But there was the Indian. Remember in the center of the little broadcast focus chart. Remember that the Indian?
yeah,
did it.
yeah, it was a focus chart. Yeah,
Yeah. But he wasn't
That-
crying.
No, I thought you were talking about the littering guy.
Right, the Italian littering Indian.
What was it that they used to say? It's 10:00. Do you know where your kids are? Do you remember that?
I think that was in I Know What You Did Last Summer.
No. It was they used to do that on TV. I remember it. It's 10:00. Do you know where your children are?
Really?
Yeah. Let me see if I can find it.
It's I'll look too because I've got nothing else to do. 10:00. Do you know where you're just talk amongst yourselves? You're chillin' are. That was. It's on an online library. It's obviously very, very slow. Parental monitoring. Something
The origin of It's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are? The ominous question, somberly intoned just prior to the local news, was eventually parodied by a multitude of stand-up comedians. But
weird how if they had kept asking that question, we might not be in some of the same problems we're in.
it went into effect due to the urban unrest and rioting during the summer of '67.
You mean people rioted before last year?
Yeah.
Huh. I'll be damned. But again, I say
The catchphrase remained the same. Yeah, it was. It's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are? I remember. I remember that.
I've heard that all this year, and I don't think I've ever connected it to that. I didn't realize it was, but it's always stuck in the back of my head.
It had like a little tone, if I remember.
You know where
It's
your
10
children
p.m.
are. So, in other words, parents go round up your chillins.
Yeah, because the curfew. I mean,
Right.
Really, it was time to bring them home.
Actually,
Time
yeah,
to get 'em at night.
be responsible parents and
Yep.
bring them home. Can't do that today. But then again, that was back when, well, it was a public service announcement. But then if you go into the ad council,
yeah,
I'm confounded by some of these things. Because the ad council is nothing but a propaganda machine. It's horrible.
It
when you
always
look-
has been.
It started what, World War II. And it was.
Yes, I think so. I think you're right.
It started with the best of intentions, as do many things that we see around us.
PBS.
Right, PBS, where now they have their first Asian character
Yeah.
on Sesame Street.
Who was it that said it's time to defund you?
Yes.
I don't remember what. It was a senator or something. Said
It was Matt Schlapp said it's time to
Oh,
defund
Schlapp,
PBS. Well, here's the thing. When you look at this new Ji Young is the new Asian character, the new
She
Asian
doesn't
Muppet. She does not have slanted eyes.
That's correct, and she doesn't have an appearance of being Asian. I mean, I guess
Aside
but
from
here's
maybe
thing.
the
what you know
ponytail thingy.
Okay, so
But-
if that's the thing, and they introduced
And she's
black
not
skin
yellow.
or brown skin characters earlier in the year or last year,
Right.
What nationality are Bert and Ernie again?
Orange. Ernie's orange. He's related to Trump. Boy, I bet they're pissed off about that. No, the
Jeez,
Asian
come
character is she's pink and does not have slanted eyes, which is not racist. It is a feature of, well, Indians don't have slanted, and they're Asian. But come on, is she Indian? See, this is where you start going woke, and there's so many things you step in. It's like the mayor of Boston being Asian, and PBS had to delete a tweet saying that a lot of people were disappointed because she wasn't black.
Yeah.
These are the sticky traps that are set out by the progressives when they try to be so woke that they get tripped up in their own wokeness. It's just the whole thing is asinine, and the best way you can fight that is to go to mojo50.com. Right there on the front page, you will see the Mojo 50 2021 Christmas ornament. Now, you can't buy it. You have to make a donation to Mojo 50. I mean, we would come to your house and wash your car if we could, but Ron says we can't do that for some reason. We're working on it. But in the meantime, if you make a donation of $25 or more to Mojo 50, you will, as our gift, and you can't buy them, we'll send you one of these Mojo 50 Christmas ornaments that is just, it is stunning.
Handmade. With these hands right here.
Right there with Ron's fishing hand. Because we got a 50-50 shot of knowing which one it is. Just saying. Are you right or left-handed?
I'm right-handed.
Okay, now we know.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause it's always the opposite. So you can get it, like I say, a $25 donation. If you go to mojo50.com, it's right there on the front page. So we've made it easy to find, even for people who are slow like Ron. It's right there on the front page. You literally can't miss it if you are looking for it. What did I do with this other thing?
I don't know. What are you looking for?
I don't even know anymore. Mojo50.com, and right there, make your donation. And as Jen Psaki, or who was it? No, it was a chick over at MSNBC. You've got the money from 2020. Come on, climb off that stack of cash.
What do you mean it's last call?
That is it. That is all. That's all she
Climb
wrote.
off that stack, okay.
Yeah, right? I mean, you've got them. They said it at NBC. You're just sitting on your money.
Yep.
Stop sitting on it. Send it to us. We like the smell of money. That is 2 hours of high-quality information and low-quality entertainment. Right here from your Daily Mojo, 2 hours every day. Just it happens to be the 17th of November, 2021. Did the lessons get stuck in the sticky trap? Let's find out. White Zocker says, at least gross bicepless boy doesn't use a little kid's hands to go fishing in the dark, unlike Rosenbaum, right? And seriously, was Rittenhouse just a lucky shot, or was he genuinely a good shot?
I'll be honest with you. He was under duress. I think he was just a lucky shot that day.
Either that,
All
or they're
3 times.
training, or he is the poster boy for training with a firearm.
Look, I can't disagree, but he had a lot going on.
He got sharper, obviously being younger, he's got sharper skills than you or I. But man, I'm telling you, no one ever talks about that. But he got off 3 good shots. Some would argue he should have, it should have been a kill shot on Grosskreutz because he had a gun, but that could be here or there. Gutter drunk. Mitt Romney probably lost against Obama because of his war on Big Bird. Likely. And it's sad, too, because you grow up with Sesame Street and the Electric Company.
Morgan Freeman.
Right.
Yep.
But was it always a propaganda machine? I bet it was if we go back and look at it.
Probably.
My life has been a big lie. Peekapool, the snarky jackhole. If you ever have insomnia, Mannix, Cannon, and Barnaby Jones are on overnights on MeTV. Are they really? Usually if I get up in the middle of the night, never mind. Oblivion Flickering. Do you remember the dramatic poetry voiceover? A fighter pilot soaring through the sky. Yes, I've whirled and twirled and done 100 things you've never dreamed of. I've reached out and touched the face of God. Yes. That was
Reagan used that.
Did he?
He used part of that speech when Challenger exploded.
Well, and this was on every night.
Yeah.
On one of the locals in California, and they would do that poem. Don't forget to listen to, because you don't have a show next, right?
We have a replay, yeah.
Okay, so it's not worth talking about. So remember to listen to Beaver, Damn It with Beaver, this coming weekend. Check with Ron for times and channel.
5 p.m. Eastern.
What about Swahili
Saturday.
time? Your Daily Mojo is brought to you by the fishing hand of real Ron Phillips over there, spinning the dials radio style. Remember, the smallest minority on earth is the individual. Those who deny individual rights cannot claim to be defenders of minorities. Sic semper tyrannis, resist stupid, because there's a lot of it out there. And good night, Doc Thompson, wherever you are. Bell count next. See ya. You and me going fishing in the dark. You'll never hear it the same way again.
Good morning, Mojo 50. I'm Leprechaun, and here with the bell count for the Daily Mojo, Wednesday, November 17th, 2021. No Miss Innuendo bells that I got today. 7 actual bells, a rim shot, a couple of 2020s, and an oh my gosh, Peace out, boys. Stay healthy. I'll talk to y'all mañana.
What did Jack Posobiec just tweet? It was something funny. Unlike us, he's kind of funny. I like that guy. Your word of the day.
Avgolemino.
It's something to do with a lemon, isn't it?
Avgolemino.
I don't have a lemon.
That's right. I've got no lemino.
No, I've got no lemino.
Avgolemino.
You've got a lovely bunch of coconuts, but I've got no lemon.
Avgolemino. I don't know. Avgolemino.
It does have lemino. It does have lemon. It's a noun. It is a soup or a sauce made with beaten eggs, lemon juice, and usually chicken broth. Ugh. Does that sound good?
It sounds like
beaten eggs, lemon juice,
egg drop soup.
Oh, you're right. It does. Maybe that's what it is.
Keep punching at it and punching at it and punching at it.
And eventually you have beaten eggs.
Yep.
And lemon juice, which reminds me of the Led Zeppelin song.
Yeah.
Juice and, yeah.
That is a wrap.
Dirty-minded old fool.